Thank you, Clarice. We would like to share with you Esri's work. We see our work as creating powerful tools, useful and practical tools that help you to do your work better. And in the process, address some of the greater challenges that are facing all of us and helping everyone do their work better. As many of you know that ArcGIS is a comprehensive platform. It's a comprehensive geospatial platform. It's open and services based. It's distributed and extendable. And it supports not only large organizations or teams, but also individuals. ArcGIS organizes all different aspects of geographic knowledge. It manages the data and the maps that you create, the models, and the different applications. These are organized under something what we call is a portal. But we also organize people with identities within the groups under a common user experience where people can search and make things discoverable and find each other's work as appropriate, taking into consideration the security. ArcGIS integrates all different types of data, and of course the geospatial data, like imagery, the maps, and so on, but also the tabular data, the unstructured data, the real-time data that's coming from millions of sensors, and the BIM, the building and information model data. It brings this together through an abstraction layer to create a common language of maps and 3D applications that the fundamental layers of features. This can be messed up and integrated dynamically. ArcGIS supports multiple kinds of systems within organizations. One of them is the system of record keeping. It's like you are updating your vegetation information or parcel information, or maybe your utilities database. It's actually a transactional system. The second is a system of analytics, what we call is a system of insights. This allows us to explore and model data and understand it. And then the third one is the system of engagement. This is about bringing people in across the organization and beyond through the maps and different applications. And the integration of real-time measurement into the GIS is making these systems even more valuable and effective. ArcGIS, by design, is fundamentally an open platform. It supports open standards and integrates open science libraries. In addition, Esri continues to make significant technical as well as the financial contributions to open source libraries, tools, and the applications that are support to the entire geospatial community. In fact, we have openly developed over 700 plus projects available on GitHub, giving developers access to the data and the tools to extend and make successful systems. You have heard from Thomas this morning about the geospatial infrastructure. So the geospatial infrastructure is transforming organization. It's interconnecting different data and systems of all types. And it's all happening at the same time as well. It's using the location as a common key factor to bring together all the heterogeneous systems. So what's driving the concept of geospatial infrastructure underpinning is the distributed services. In next 15 minutes, we would like to explain you what distributed services are and how it allows us to make a foundation of geospatial infrastructure in Singapore. With that, we're going to illustrate the concept of distributed services through a celebratory example. As you know that ST Singapore is a smart mapping partner for the third year running for NDP 2019. And this year is the 50th anniversary of the mobile column. To commemorate this special anniversary, they have planned to travel into the heartlands. Let us take this example to illustrate to you some of these concepts of distributed services and how once you collaborate, workflows are faster and you can get closer engagement.
Good morning to all. My name is Sharon, and in my day job, I'm a consultant with Esri Singapore. But for today, just for this UC, I'm portraying the role of a GIS manager for the Punggol town. And I'm managing the Punggol resident portal. And Abhijit here, he's going to play the role of the GIS manager for the NDP managing committee. And because Esri is the partner for NDP 2019, he also has a similar portal that is set up for NDP planning. This here you see on the screen right now is the Pongo resident portal. It has been set up to improve interactions and communications with my Pongo residents. We are able to share data that is relevant to all residents in Pongo. And this site is powered by ArcGIS Enterprise. It's built entirely on configuration with drag and drop interfaces and without writing a single line of code. If you look at the data that is being published on this website, it can be classified into different categories. All this data that I have on my site is coming in through various collaborations with different agencies. You will see that I have transport data, your bus stops, your MRT stations that's coming in from LTA. I have education data, all your schools, your preschools, your childcare, that's coming in from MOE and various other sources. I also have boundaries data that's coming in from HDB or other land planning agencies. And with all this data that I have, I'm able to create a Pongo town map. This shows the boundary of Pongo along with all the different amenities I have within my town. And this site not only publishes data, it also publishes details of events that's happening in Pongo or different community initiatives that we may be running. Now, the weekend of that mobile column coming into Pongo was very exciting for all Pongo residents. And I have to make sure that the event is well run. And in order to make sure that the event is running, I would need to create an event map that consolidates all of this data into a single view. And to do that, I need the help of Abhijit to share with me some information that is on his portal. I need details of the mobile column route, the viewing locations along the route, as well as some roadblocks that will be need to put in place in order for the mobile column to come into Pongo Estate. Now, traditionally, the exchange of such information is usually done through emails. I'm sure many of you has received such emails, you know, where a map is given to you in a PDF or in an image. And then I would need to draw that map into my portal so that I can share it out. Now, with distributed collaboration and the concept of collaborative workspaces, it changes the way people can work together. And I'm going to illustrate this by this collaborative workspace that I've created with Abhijit. Here you would see that there is various sets of data that has already been shared with me. And if you look at this little icon here, it shows that this item has been shared with me through a collaboration, and it's shared by reference. So it means that I don't have the data that is copied on my site. I'm referencing the data in his portal. And this is the same workspace that Abhijit will share the roadblocks information with me.
Well, before I update the roadblock information on portal map, I would like to show you my portal collaboration workspace that has been associated with Sharon's portal that she showed you just now. This workspace is a part of NDP portal that not only hosts the NDP mobile column data, but also some other confidential information that we use to run our NDP at Padang. Members of the NDP portal can share data and information in the collaborative workspace, and Sharon will see those data in her workspace. And here I would also like to add not only the 2D data, also the 3D data are supported. Even you are doing some kind of analysis in ArcGIS Insights, that Insights workbook is also supported here. Now I'm going to click this NDP roadblock information. And with the latest road data that I have, I'm going to update is going to edit this information in the Punggol MRT site. So I can go ahead and quickly draw this roadblock information in my map. And as soon as I complete this, Sharon is going to get this data in her map over real time. So this is about the power of distributed services, achieving the data accuracy, quality, and the overall efficiency. It also reduces the data redundancy and erroneous data inputs.
Now, road closures are very important information that I need to share with my residents because they need to know where they shouldn't be driving to. So I'm going to show you the road closure information on the Pongo town map that I've created. You will see here that the information has been automatically synced across from ArcGIS portal into mine.
Right.
And now, my residents, once it has been synced across, when they access the website now, they are able to see the roadblock information immediately appearing on the map, without me having to do anything at all. So this is the power of collaboration, where two systems can be in sync with each other. Now, I have all the information that I need for the event, and I will need to communicate this to my residents. And I'm going to do so using a story map. The story map is a powerful communication tool. And this next generation story map is what I'm going to use to create my story. The next generation story map makes storytelling easier and more accessible. This is the new story builder that you see here. And every story starts off with a catchy title, and also a short descriptive summary of what the story is about. I'm able to add in images or videos to the cover of my story map. And here right now, what I'm trying to load into the system is a picture that's been taken from our recent National Day celebrations. It's a stunning picture of the fireworks display at the end of the parade. Moving on, I'm going to add in a short introductory paragraph of my story. And also, I'm going to add in a quote that would highlight the 50th anniversary of the mobile column. And because this event is going to be outdoor, I would want to inform my residents about the weather happening during the event. And I will do that with a button. And this button is linked with a website. And when I click on the website, I'm able to see my current weather. And next, I would want to create a map to tell my Punggol residents where is the NDP mobile column going to be stationed and parked. I can do this by either putting in a map that I've previously created on Portal, or I can also make use of this new feature called an Express Map. Now, I can do this without even leaving the interface of my story builder. What you see here is a map with a neutral background, and everything that you add on it is going to stand out. So first, I'm going to search for Waterway Point, because that's the last stop of my Punggol route. I'm going to add that to the map, and I'm also going to load an image of that location. I would also want to draw out the area where the mobile column is going to be parked, so that my residents will know exactly where to go to get up close and personal with the different vehicles that is part of the mobile column. I can also make use of the tools, of the drawing tools in this map to highlight the two different locations that I've added. Look how easy it is for us to create a map within the interface. And look how interactive this web map is. So now I'm going to go into details of the route of the whole Punggol mobile column that's actually coming into my estate. And I'm going to use a new visual dynamic to show that. And that is called a sidecar. Here, I'm able to add in a map of the route with the data that's coming in from ArcGIS portal. I'm able to load in the different points, the different viewing points that the residents can go to get a good view of the passing column. And I'm going to add in a new slide. Here, we have a video that has been taken from the mobile column perspective. And this gives me a glimpse of what it looks like from the mobile column's perspective. Lastly, I'm going to end my story with a map, with another map that I've created. And what this map shows is the 5 different mobile columns that's moving into the 5 different heartlands during this event. And if you look closely at this map, if you stare at this map, you will actually find that the tanks are moving when it's loaded. Okay, this is not an optical illusion. It is actually powered by ArcGIS Enterprise. And how we achieve this is using a tracker for ArcGIS app. That the mobile column commander could be holding on to this app, and this app is sending the locations of that device as it moves along. And this sends back to the ArcGIS Enterprise. The enterprise converts that into a point on the map and shows it up as a feature. Lastly, I'm going to embed a URL into my story map as a footnote. And what this URL has is a news article that gives me more information about the event. Look how easy it is for me to embed a URL. So anyone who does not have programming experience is able to do this story map. If I click on the title of the story map, I'm able to roll up to the top of the story. And before I publish this story, I just want to make a few tweaks to the design so that so that it can highlight the content that I put onto the story map. So there are various themes that I can choose from with different colors and different accent colors to match the materials that I've loaded. And as a last thing I like to do is to add in the Esri Singapore logo into my map. And now I'm ready to publish my map for everyone. This new story also looks amazing on any device. It could be a mobile device or it could be a desktop-based device. And it's accessible by any Punggol resident or any member of the public that have access to internet. I can also add this story map as an app on my Punggol resident site, along with other apps that are also published for the Punggol residents' use. The example that I've shown today helps demonstrate how distributed services would improve inter-organizational workflows, and how a common platform where data can be shared can power the creation of intuitive apps to power analytics and communication tools like this story map. And this concept that was illustrated in this simple demo can be applicable in various flavors. It could be between organization to organization on the intranet environment, from an intranet environment to an internet environment, or various organizations to a central portal. Next, we want to take you through some of the technology updates across the platform.
Esri spends about a third of our revenue on ongoing research and development. We do this to continue meet the needs of our expanding user base for more capabilities in our platform. Our focus is on these capabilities of ArcGIS, such as imagery, spatial analysis, data science, 3D, contents, field operations, and of course, the mapping and data management. To start with the desktop, ArcGIS Pro is worldwide adopted now, and I believe in Singapore, many of you are working with Pro. So Pro 2.4 has been released recently, and we have made significant improvements here. For example, in mapping and visualization, in editing like supporting rich utility networks, and in analysis. We have also introduced new capabilities in a number of areas, such as reports, publishing from ArcGIS Pro directly to the servers. Some of you might like this one. The new parcel fabric management based on the new parcel fabric. Some of these capabilities are working on include the support for offset printing and 3D voxel layers. To take you through some of the new tools in Pro 2.4, let's take a trip to Hollywood, into the city of Pasadena, a popular place for filming many of our favorite movies. Over the past 2 decades, more than 8,000 film permits have been issued by the city of Pasadena. Now, looking at this record, we want to identify the most popular filming spot. ArcGIS Pro makes it easy to visualize these large datasets using a dynamic feature called binning. This new functionality aggregates points into dynamic polygons called bins, changing in size and value depending on the map scale. So from this quick analysis, we see that the historic Pasadena City Hall is a hotspot for filming. Knowing where to film is important, but knowing when is meaning that we can plan for our resources in a better way. Another new feature in ArcGIS Pro is called calendar heat chart. We can create a quick heat chart by the permit date, which aggregates the date of each permit to show when filming occurs throughout the year. The lighter blue here color shows the first week of the June through the September have generally low activity. And definitely the Christmas period is another slow time of the year. Now that I know that where recent permits have been granted, I can find a perfect location at the right timing to shoot a scene for my own upcoming blockbuster movie. Now it's also important that my movie takes place in a historic area, right? And then close to the parks and the major roads in a high density urban environment and the commercial spaces nearby. Parcels that fit the criteria for a potential filming site were identified using a series of geoprocessing tool at the back. And now I want to create a geoprocessing model from the history, and I can save time by creating this model with one single click. I can quickly import the whole geoprocessing history into a model builder with one single click. So in that scenario, you don't need to build the whole model from the scratch. And now this model actually I can use for any other location, for another potential filming site. Swapping out the vector base map from this one to the aerial imagery. We want to see the streets and this parking area, how it looks like when it's closed for the production. I can easily edit out the cars in this parking lot with the new pixel editor in ArcGIS Pro. I can draw a simple polygon to replace those cars and hover a blank spot on the street. With one single click, I can just remove those cars from that particular raster data. Now, a scene in my movie will depict the city under chaos due to a recent flood. We can experiment with what the site might look like with a flood scene in the city of Pasadena. Now, this is a beautiful 3D model. You can see the trees as well as the building information. Now, here I'm going to create a flood scenario for my movie. I want to quickly add water information into the map to see how it looks like. So you see there is no flow, so it doesn't look so realistic. So I'm going to quickly change the symbology of this particular water to provide it, give it a more like animated feel. Next, I want to change the color of the water for more realistic view. And by changing the wave have direction and a little bit strength of that particular wave, by simply clicking this, changing these parameters, now I can get more realistic view of the water directly in my ArcGIS Pro, which is fantastic. I think you all look like you like this particular tool. Now, I want to share the whole analysis information to my field crew who are going to the site, and if they want to observe the scenario and they take better decisions from there. So what I can do here, directly from my ArcGIS Pro, I can share this data to the web as a web scene 3D layer. And they can visualize the information anywhere, anytime, with any devices. So I have published this data prior to this, and this is how it looks like in the web from different angles. You can see more realistic view on the web. You can visualize this data from your mobile devices, your iPad devices, and so on. Now moving to the Pro extension. Now ArcGIS Pro can be extended in a variety of ways with the analytics tools. Specialized tool that integrate the focused capabilities into your desktop world. The new one here is the LookAtXT for unstructured data. It lets you discover and extract the geo-coordinates, place names, and other critical information from unstructured text and place them instantly on a map. To move on to the 3D side, in the world of 3D visualization, the new BIM as a scene layer is a first of its kind of the capability to directly store semantically correct buildings in a GIS and then to stream them over to the web or mobile and browser-based users. In 3D symbology, we introduced animated water effects. Just now I show you. New augmented reality and virtual reality experiences are enabled by GIS and 3D GIS especially. And GIS users are thinking about leveraging these experiences for even greater value in their organization and their day-to-day work and operations. The support for the mobile scene packages means that the users can package and transport the web scene of the 3D even for the offline applications. Now here I would like to bring your attention that the 3D scene layer performance continues to improve. Scene viewer loads integrated mesh, 3D objects, and building up to 4 times faster now than before with the new ITS specification version 1.7. And 3D is not only for the visualization, it is also for the analytics like shadow analysis, the flood impact analysis. Just now we performed the test, and for the volumetric modeling as well, which helps you looking into the oceans. And these 3D capabilities of visualization and analytics are available across many apps, like in desktop, like ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Earth, now available on the mobile, City Engine for the procedural rules, and definitely for the scene viewer for the web to be visualize the 3D.
Earlier on, Thomas shared about the systems of systems and different interconnecting systems. Now, at the heart of this is the ability to enable distributed systems. And if you look at this diagram, we see interconnected systems, where data is shared from one place to another and automatically synchronized. It's like what Abhijit and I showed earlier, where he drew the roadblocks and it's immediately synced across to my side. So when he updates his map, my map gets updated as well. Or I could build an app and I share that, and the other person will be able to see the app. This is the basis of distributed collaboration. Underlying the distributed collaboration technology is the ArcGIS Enterprise. Now this is the core, one of Esri's core technology, and it forms the basis of all GIS capabilities ranging from mapping and visualization to data management and analytics and sharing. And one of the big improvements on the ArcGIS Enterprise is the use of shared instances, which makes map services published from the ArcGIS Pro use far less memory than before and reduce memory requirements by 95%. Bulk publishing is another new feature. It gives me a streamlined workflow that allows you to quickly make all your GIS data sets, all your feature classes in your enterprise geodatabase available as services so that your entire organization can discover and use. And webhooks is a new technology we support so that partners and customers can do easier integration with other business systems. And we continue to introduce machine learning and AI within the server environment. The upcoming releases would see the ability to leverage on containerization and microservices, which is a common trend that we see coming up in a lot of organizations today. ArcGIS Enterprise is designed to be modular and massively scalable. Every piece of the ArcGIS technology in this slide can be individually scaled according to the needs of the organization to provide comprehensive GIS functionality throughout your organization. I would like to bring particular mention to the ArcGIS Monitor application, which is a tool that's designed to be able to monitor every part of your ArcGIS Enterprise and provides for IT people the relevant alerts and warnings necessary in the root cause analysis of issues, as well as performance monitoring and reporting purposes. Looking into the ArcGIS Monitor, we can see that it's uniquely tailored to monitor the health of your ArcGIS implementations. and it covers all aspects of the system, from monitoring the hardware usage and the performance, to collation of usage and response time statistics of the application and all its services. The next piece of the ArcGIS Enterprise system of specific mention is the notebook server. It enables hosted Python notebooks, and this is powerful because it not only allows us to integrate distributed services, data, and ArcGIS analytics with all the open science libraries, we are also able to build Python scripts and share them with the organization through ArcGIS Enterprise. This integrated notebook interface also allows you to browse data from your organizational portal, the ArcGIS Online, and ArcGIS Living Atlas. Python snippets of selected data and analysis tools can also be automatically added to your notebook to accelerate how you build your workflows. With regard to AI, machine learning and deep learning, the approach has always been to integrate machine learning and AI into ArcGIS, into the different parts of ArcGIS. And there will be more touch points with Python throughout the ArcGIS. And parallel to this, Esri is also making enhancements to deliver machine and deep learning methods in geoprocessing tools. Now moving on to the apps, story maps provide the ability to create powerful and compelling stories, combining narratives with maps, photos, videos, and other multimedia content. Over 1 million story maps have been published, and almost 3,000 new ones are published every day. Now today we just published one new story map. And I made use of the next generation ArcGIS story maps. And what that helps me to do is make storytelling easier, and I'm able to make a story map that has a mobile-first approach to design and performance. In the field operations, ArcGIS supports a smarter way to perform fieldwork by enabling location in every aspect of your fieldwork. Users can perform the full fieldwork process in a smarter way. In this slide, you will see various field apps that allow you to plan where field crews should go, who should go, and how to get there. It helps you understand the work area, the surrounding features. It helps the field crew to capture data and sync that data back into the system immediately. Gone are the days where the field crew will need to capture data on pen and paper and go back to the office to put it into the system. Part of this suite of field operations include back office applications like Dashboard that provide real-time status of the field work and locations of your field crew, and also apps to assign ad hoc jobs as they come in. There are two new apps that I would like to touch on more today, which is the Tracker for ArcGIS and Quick Capture. Now the Tracker for ArcGIS was the capability that I showed earlier in that live tracking map. Of course, that was a simulated one, but it shows you how you can make use of the Tracker for ArcGIS to detect locations of moving assets. It has a mobile app that allows your users to turn on location tracking and then send that data live to the GIS. And this data can be viewed and analyzed with tools in the RGS Enterprise. Many organizations, especially those in public safety, are seeing value in knowing where their field assets are. Not to see if they are really working or not, but more in the area of being able to know where their crew is and be able to get the nearest personnel to respond to an incident. The next app is the RGS Quick Capture, and it allows you to capture data as you travel with a push of a big button. Quick Capture is specifically designed to support at speed and rapid data collection workflows, where users demand an extremely simple and streamlined data collection user experience while on the move. The main difference between Quick Capture and Collector is the ability to capture features while driving in a motor vehicle. Of course, we are not advocating that you drive and capture features at the same time. I think some of you in the audience today would not be very pleased with us if we were to do that. But this feature allows you to capture features without needing to stop or slow down the vehicle. The Quick Capture allows you to capture multiple features at the same time with push of different buttons. And it can support point, line, and polygon features.
Now after apps, let's move on to the imagery. For image exploitation and observation management, we released ArcGIS Excalibur, and I believe many of you are using. It's a web-based structured observation management workflow which allows us to search on the web for imagery and bring it up, then exploit the imagery. Exploit the imagery means is the photo interpretation, like drawing features on the image and then storing those features in a database for further analysis. This supports both the GIS view of imagery as well as the image space, so it supports both kind of communities with powerful exploitation tools. Similar to imagery, real-time data analytics, reading in sensors from the IoT and pipelining them into the GeoEvent server is increasingly becoming popular. And we have been working on making our capabilities in GeoEvent server more performant, more robust, more scalable, and more reliable, definitely. Note that in addition to the direct integration using GeoEvent server for alerting and analytics, there is a parallel technology called GeoAnalytics. So when you are storing your millions of live feed information through the GeoEvent server, taking into the system, ingestion into ArcGIS Enterprise, you are storing that information in a place called spatial temporal data store. And then you are doing further analysis using GeoAnalytics server to do the identify the patterns and the trends of the data. In addition to the ArcGIS in the product sense, we recently introduced GeoEnabled Systems. They are independent solutions designed to support focused workflows like mapping, community engagement, and urban planning. To start with, the first GeoEnabled system is what we call is Hub. Previously, Sharon showed you ArcGIS Enterprise sites. It's kind of similar. It's a community engagement that's connecting a city, for example, a city with its citizens. It includes a fundamental building block of open data. And this building block with the hub is now being used by thousands of organizations to make their data open and available around the world. About 1,000 datasets have been shared within this. Hub also supports different initiatives. It supports the ability to build a website that engage people, and it organizes communities through various apps like team management, surveys, and even calendars. The next app, GeoEnabled app, is called Business Analyst, and this is not new. It is here since last 20 years. But this has been packaged up, all the relevant data that business people really use, like demographic data, segmentation data, connected it with the analytics like spatial modeling and infographics, and with the workflows like site selection, trade area analysis, and has been a great success. About 30% of the Fortune 1000 companies use this platform for analytics and making smarter location-based decisions. Now, one of my favorite app is Urban. ArcGIS Urban is a system that's going to revolutionize the transforming the power of planning operations and design. It integrates the highly interactive visual tools, proposed projects, your land use planning, your zoning, and all the geographic indicators that are necessary to create a smart city. So in Urban, you can create planning scenarios. You can create, you can visualize, you can manage, and share the 3D zoning data and land use plan. You can track and evaluate your project status. Urban provides tools for tracking and reviewing the projects, such as proposed buildings. You can explore projects in 3D, view their status, and measure their impacts. Just like this, you can create a dashboard. Now, report on the indicators. In Urban, you can create indicators that lets you define and report on performance indicators citywide within the project and plan scenarios. For example, demographic information, different socioeconomic value added to this particular app to make it better and help you make your decisions faster. The next GeoEnabled app is ArcGIS Indoor, and it has recently launched in June. It focuses on bringing the GIS into the indoor spaces. It's about wayfinding and supporting the organizations, the operations management, security, and so forth. And for real estate organizations, this is going to be empowering people who have to take care of the rooms and find where to go through building complexes. It provides a common operating picture for executives, workplace service personnel, and other employees or visitors to understand, manage, and use their workplace in a better environment. Through an extended version of ArcGIS Pro, native web and mobile applications, including iOS and Android devices, and indoor information model, ArcGIS Indoor helps you to create, customize, share, and apply workplace maps and the location data so that you can manage your workplace operations, building an environment that is comfortable and engaging your people, your own people. It also supports indoor positioning system. Right now, 3 vintages, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS at this moment. So if you download that app, you can quickly launch ArcGIS Indoor app straight away. It can open up the map with my current position, showing up that, featuring that blue dot on the map. Once you turn on your GPS, you can search on this particular map to a particular location. For example, I'm searching here a meeting room, and Indoor can provide me the exact route. We call this wayfinding. And in the room, once I reach to the room, if I find a faulty projector, let's say the resolution is not good, and I want to report about it, straight away I can open up Survey 123 app that Sharon showed in her earlier field operations applications. So that Survey 123 app, I can feedback it to the management so that they can take quick actions in a better way.
The GeoEnabled Systems, which Abhijit just showed, is the enabler of this integrated BIM and GIS workflows. This is a continuous process that's happening all around us. Cities, governments, and other asset management agencies are using GIS for planning, management agency permitting, and to provide and access services. AEC consultants are engaged in regular execution of projects to implement change in the real world. On the blue side of the wheel is where cities are continuously providing services, evaluating outcomes, and when change is required, they commission capital projects. The orange wheel in this diagram depicts the BIM process in which assets are designed, constructed, and even maintained. GIS data typically dominates the left side, and BIM data originates in the right. But information needs to be shared to accomplish both sides of this life cycle. And in the next slide, I'll elaborate a little bit more on how we see more and more patterns of use in which GIS and BIM workflows are highly integrated. To support the convergence of BIM and GIS workflows, Esri has been continually making improvements for BIM integration on the platform. And one of the key ones that I'd like to highlight today is the native support of Revit files in ArcGIS Pro. Using these tools, planners are able to quickly bring in the design stage BIM file to the GIS and perform view shed and shadow analysis together with the existing BIM files of existing buildings, which are already been converted into the GIS. In the construction phase of the life cycle, we are beginning to see common trends where point clouds are regularly taken off the construction site and visualized in the GIS, together with the approved BIM to track progress of the construction, as well as to validate what has been construction is in line with the design. The BIM model of a building, set against its natural environment in the GIS, provides a very realistic visual that can be used as a marketing tool during the leasing stage of the development. And lastly, in the operations and maintenance stage, BIM continues to remain relevant and updated as assets are renewed or retired. And keeping the BIM models as references to the GIS infrastructure allows district facilities manager to maintain a single point of reference to the consolidated set of BIM data. Mobile applications allowing the public to report faults in the district will only need to reference the GIS to gain access to the various buildings' BIM. What I just showed was a very quick overview of how the urban systems and the Esri platform is supporting the emerging trends that we see in the convergence of engineering workflows with geospatial design.